2026 is quickly approaching. In these last couple months of the year, many will slow down. Many will party with their friends over Thanksgiving and Christmas. Many will watch TV, watch sports, and wind down towards the end of this year. But not you, not us. We've had enough of that, and we're going to ramp it up going into the next year to prepare for ultimate success. You see, to be successful in life and to achieve your goals, you must embody the frequency of that which you're trying to achieve. If you're trying to be consistent in the gym, you have to have the frequency that you're not going to miss, that you're going to prioritize it, whether it's hitting the gym, whether it's meditation, whether it's working on a creative project, whatever it is that you want to do, you have to embody that frequency to achieve that goal. So most people will relax towards the end of this year, set a couple New Year's resolutions, maybe be good at following it for 2 or 3 weeks into the year. But guess what? Their fundamental frequency, who they are, hasn't changed. Underlying, they're still the same person. So through external motivation, through this new year energy, through everybody setting these New Year's resolutions, they'll be able to gain the energy to follow through on those commitments for 2 or 3 weeks. But then they're going to slide and they're going to fall back into who they really are. So let's not play these games of, I'm going to wait till the next year and I'm just going to, let's not pretend that we're magically going to be able to follow through on a New Year's resolution when the underlying aspect of who we are hasn't changed. We've had enough years of partying on New Year's Day, waking up hungover in the morning, and starting our year off like that. We've had enough of this. Your transformation begins now. You're watching this video because you know where you want to go. You know that you don't want this next phase of your life to be the same as it was before, where maybe for me, this is how it's been. I'd have a period of time where I'm making a lot of progress, and then I'd backslide and fall down into old habits, whether it was New Year's or another time. But we're done with that. Even when we fall down, we still have the conviction and the confidence and the image and the vision of who we want to be. So when you fall down, you're going to get right back up because you have confidence and conviction in where you're going. And let me be honest, this past week and a half, I've been backsliding a little bit. I broke my commitments to myself of sobriety and semen retention. And I've been backsliding a little bit, watching a little more media than I should be, not working as hard as I know I'm capable of. However, I've done enough inner work on myself at this point, and I've solidified my vision enough to have compassion for myself for those parts that are broken and need to be healed, and that's coming to the surface, and to just get right back up and not have my confidence shaken. So by starting now instead of the new year, maybe you'll, don't use this as an excuse, but maybe you'll slip, maybe you'll have a hiccup, maybe you'll backslide a little bit, but that's okay. See, as long as you still have confidence and conviction and get right back up, also have compassion for yourself and don't beat yourself up over it, because a lot of the times what'll happen, we'll set a goal for ourselves, we'll miss the mark, we'll make a mistake, and then what happens is you might beat yourself up over that. But all that is going to do is put you deeper into that hole, because now that you're beating yourself up over it, now you feel in a worse mental state. Now you're more likely to go partake in that addiction, or laziness or the bad behavior that you didn't want to begin with. That was what you were beating yourself up over in the first place. But the very act of beating yourself up and hating yourself for it does nothing productive at all, because all that's going to do is cause a vicious cycle of those same repeating patterns. So instead, just have compassion for yourself. Don't use it as an excuse. Do your best to not break your commitment to yourself. But if it happens, this is the process of transformation. This is being human. We're not going to be perfect, and we're not always going to get it right on the first try. So have compassion for yourself, and instead of ruminating on it, instead of beating yourself up, just leave it and pick right back up where you were. Don't let yourself spiral because of one mistake. That's what can happen a lot of times. You're doing really well, you make one mistake, and then that kind of opens up the door for you to spiral. On the flip side of that, if you're doing well and a strong craving arises, have some type of coping mechanism or have some strategy to deal with that. Because making a mistake on the flip side can, open up the door for you to spiral. What I just said, now you're going to be more prepared to not have that happen, but you still don't want to take the risk. So it's important to have somewhere you can go, replace a bad habit with a good habit so you're not falling back into old patterns. For example, maybe whenever you feel the urge to just scroll social media or binge watch a TV show, watch a bunch of YouTube videos, pick up a book instead, replace that habit. When you have the urge to drink or smoke or partake in whatever addiction you have, maybe just go on a walk or go on a hike and to relax yourself. Just figure out something that works for you, some habit to replace the bad habit with, so that you're more prepared to embody the person you want to become. Choose habits that the ideal image of yourself that you're working towards, that you want to become. Choose habits that are in alignment with that. And another important point is spend some time visualizing, thinking about where you want to go in life, what's really important, and who you want to be going into this next year. And start taking action now to move towards that. And then another thing that might help is just journaling. Like I said, kind of with the visioning part, journal about who you want to be. And when you feel like partaking in a bad habit, journal about why you want to do that and what's causing you to want to partake in a habit that is not who you are anymore. It's an old part of yourself. It's an old wounded part of yourself. Journaling and just sitting with that part, seeing what it needs, being compassionate to yourself, these are all things that can really help. And in closing, I know it may feel like nobody has confidence in you. The goals, the person you see yourself as being, people don't believe it's possible. They want to see you in the ways you've operated in the past. They're more comfortable viewing you in the lens of what they're capable of. You may know in your heart that you're capable of great things, but other people won't acknowledge it because they see themselves not as capable of that. So they'd rather see you not capable of doing that either. But you know who you are. You're past relying on other people's opinions and validation. You know who you are and where you're going, and I believe in you to make the changes that are necessary to be where you want to be. Hey, so I ended the video, but I just had a couple last remarks I wanted to make. One of which is, if you want a great book and a great guide going into the next year, a book I've been reading is called The Essence of the Bhagavad Gita by Swami Kriyananda. And if you're watching this channel, I figure you're probably pretty spiritual and you might be interested in that. And it really just gets down to the essence of the Gita and gives very great practical and spiritual advice on how to live at all levels. And if you made it this far into the video, I'd appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe. And very soon, I'm going to have much more exciting content and also a newsletter set up sometime in November. So check the description if this is mid-November or later. I'll put a link to it down there whenever it's ready. So thanks for watching and have a great day.